Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. I'm so glad you could join us today. Not sure if this is the last one of the year or not, so stay tuned to the community section, and I'll let you know about next Friday. But this could be the last one, but I'm not sure. Not sure how things are going to go, but anyway, just to put you on notice, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm broadcasting from a cold and snowy Gaithersburg, Maryland. It's about 34 degrees. I'm told the snow is going to turn to rain. So, but at last, you know, um, do enjoy getting a little bit of snow, especially if I don't have to drive in it. Um, couldn't find my good glasses today, so I've got my ugly glasses on. So I just wanted to go ahead and say hey to everybody. Hey, Angie, glad you could join us. And Linda, Brad's mom, glad you could join us too. She says, all my dear Yarnies, good morning from cloudy, cold, and wet Southwest Chicago suburbs. Please don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Merry Christmas and God bless. Thank you so much, Linda. Thanks for the reminder of the thumbs up. I know this is a slower time of the year. I've noticed that, a lot of y'all are busy. I have been too. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've done almost nothing on social media this week. Been very busy. In fact, I was so busy that I actually neglected something. I need to apologize to my watch subscribers. I forgot to send you the link for a Zoom that we were going to try to have on this past Monday. But I had a lot of things going on, including getting a car repaired. The car's fine, just needed to have a recall thing fixed. And so, with kind of the extra stuff, I mean, I'm just going to leave it up to, first of all, I apologize. But secondly, brain fog and just all this other extra activity. And I know you know what I'm talking about because um, we all this happens every December. I oftentimes go into December thinking that, oh, it's not that much extra. It's just okay. So we're going to do some outside decorations, maybe put up a Christmas tree if that's your thing. Oh yeah, and buy just a little something for everybody you know and love. Oh yeah, and attend a few extra functions with your friends and oh yeah, I'll do some extra cooking and baking and oh yeah, we're going to do a little bit of traveling too. I don't know why, but I always kind of approach this time of the year and think, "Oh, it's not that much more really." But then what happens is after the new year comes and January comes and we all go, and like, yeah, that was a lot. So if you're feeling that at all, give yourself some time, cut yourself some slack, maybe cut back on gift giving a little bit. We certainly have here. And even just cutting back, um, we still have a lot going on. Well, okay, let's go ahead and get back to some of the people in the chat. Hey Phil, so glad that you're doing well. Thanks for waving. He's joining us from a cold and rainy Springfield, Ohio. Hope you're doing well. We're still praying for you with regards to your mom and everything. So um, do take care and take it easy. And Melanie, um, thank you, Melanie, for your sweet comment. That's kind of funny. She doesn't want to tell us where she's from because we might get a little envious here, I think. So, anyway, and Joe Roxana, good to join us here from Rensselaer, New York. I hope I said that right. Just hope you and your family are happy and well. Yes, yes, we are. Phil says, I was in Houston, Texas a few days ago, and it was the upper 70s with clear skies. I want to go back. I understand that one. Excuse me, still a little bit of cough here. Talking about the 70s, I really don't mind the cold. Being a Florida girl and all, I kind of look forward to the snow. But as a Florida girl, on the flip side of that coin is, I don't do so well with all these gray days. So that's where I struggle. And there were a couple days this week too where I was like, yeah, I need to see the sun. I need some sunshine, some light. Missing Florida. um, yeah, I don't miss the humidity, but I do miss the sunshine. I love that part of my hometown. And Ekstrom says, good morning or afternoon from Sweden. How nice of you, Bonnie, to do a live, even though it's almost Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone here. Thank you, Ekstrom. I thought of that because the numbers are down. People are out doing other things as they should be instead of hooked to a computer or, watching something on the internet. And I say, go for it. It's like you need to be out and doing real things with real people. But I know that there are many of us that are, maybe kind of stuck home or just want to hang out with some friends for a bit. And I put myself in that category. I just love hanging out with you guys. So I figured, even if the numbers aren't there, that's not the main purpose why I do this anyway. It's to just be with my community online, and you guys are the best, hands down. And Barbara, so glad to see you in our chat. Speaking of good friends, she says, Christmas blessings, Bonnie, to you and your family. Thank you, Barbara. May God bless you and keep you. May his light shine upon you. Oh, thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. Um, well, I'm going to say, Phil, if you're worried about the weather, think about Barbara. She's up in Alaska. And the pictures I've been getting, they all have snow on the ground. Even though it's not a lot of snow, it's snow and it's not going anywhere, probably until the spring. So, it could always be worse. um, oh my goodness. And Red Hook, so good to have you with us. She says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my Yarny friends. We are driving, not me, down to Florida from Ohio. Hopefully, I don't lose my internet. Praying that everyone has a blessed Christmas. Well, you have a wonderful drive. That reminds me of my folks when they were getting ready to move down to Florida back in the 1950s, before a lot of the interstate system was even established. Driving down in their 1940 something Plymouth. Yeah, and I hope you had a better time driving down than they did. They oftentimes had car trouble, but that was a drive that they made a couple of times from Cincinnati all the way down to Miami. All right. And Stephanie says, hello all, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and wishing everyone a day full of love and joy with your special people. Thank you, Stephanie. That is very kind. And good to have you with us, Margaret and Alana and Carol. Thank you for your well wishes there. And DL Crisp says, hope everyone's ready for Christmas. We are getting there. It's slow here, but we are getting there. We're close. And I'm enjoying it too. And Ola Joe, so glad to have you in the chat. And Jojo M says, don't forget a little extra hosting. Oh yeah, including cleaning. Oh, absolutely. Yes, that's the other thing is having people over to my home is a great thing. I need to do it more so that I could get the house in better shape. But yeah, the little bit of extra cleaning and hosting. Yeah. And Linda Davidson, so glad to Davidson, sorry. Merry Christmas to you too. And Deborah joins us from a rainy, snowy Louisville, Kentucky. Wow. And Barbara says, this is a fantastic time of the year. We want to share Jesus in so many ways. And yes, it is busy. I'm grateful for your testimony and how you love on others. Oh, thank you, Barbara. You too. I mean, you have so many opportunities there in your community as well. And thank you, Hannah, for joining us today. And Linda from Pittsburgh, PA. I know Pittsburgh. We go there a few times a year as we can to visit our one of our children there and his wife. And Denise, hi to you. And yeah, Phil's checking in with Hannah. Yeah, Hannah's busy getting grandma's house ready for all of us. She says, so it feels good to stop moving for a bit. Oh, yeah. Grandma likes to have things just right, which means a lot of work for whomever is there taking orders. And Virginia says, good morning from Virginia, from New Brunswick, Canada. We're expecting a snowstorm tomorrow into Sunday. Many inches, forecast is 6+ inches. Mind is also busy Same as everybody's. Wow. Well, you take care, Virginia. I mean, I can tell you, I have a couple of children who would love to be in your predicament, expecting all that snow. Yeah, I enjoy snowstorms. I must confess, I do. As long as we don't lose power, because we do not have a fireplace. So if we lose power, we just bring out all the throws and blankets and stay warm as possible. Um, oh, thank you, Denise. She says, wishing everyone a beautiful, blessed Christmas. Yes. Ah, and Hannah says, it's not even grandma making me do this. I'm doing it before little active nephew comes and takes all my energy. Oh, yes. Yes, we do have those little guys, don't we? Um, well, I don't have a whole lot to tell you. There is one major announcement I wanted to let you know, is that I am going to have a Zoom holiday hangout with my Zoom folks tomorrow, a Saturday, December 22nd, from 12 to 1, or however long people want to stay. Um, and I am going to set a timer on my phone so that I am alerted to this, so that I don't forget this time. Again, I am so sorry. I was, I guess, out to lunch that day. I'm trying to think what I've been doing. I know I've been very busy. I've been trying to get things cleaned up for designs that are going to be released in the new year. And I'm going to show you one right now. I'd shown you this before, but it is complete. This is the Sunshine Saxon scarf. And this is a scarf that, of course, you can make this in any color you want. So if you want to make this for a guy's sweater, let me show you the bottom, or scarf. Um, I think if you choose, a manly color or a color that they like to wear. My guys are not into the pretty colors. So I'll just say that they like the grays and the blacks, and although I don't would want to do it in black, but they like, or white would work, but they're not into the fancier kind of colors that I am. But anyway, so this will be coming out sometime. I'm going to shoot for either sometime in January. Okay, I'm going to try to make this in January. If not January, then maybe let's just say it'll be in the first quarter. Okay, coming out. But let me show you something. This is made using a fingering weight yarn, which is also called a sock weight yarn, which is a number one, which is a very thin yarn. And I personally like to use a size G, or 6 or 4.00 millimeter crochet hook. And I say that because if you're watching from the UK, um, you call the 4.00 millimeter a size F. So I always specify the size of the needle in millimeter, just so there's no confusion there. Okay. So don't just look at the letter, look at the number. So now let's say you want to make this scarf, but you don't want to make it in thin yarn. Maybe you want to work it up into something a little bit bulkier. Let me show you what I'm experimenting with, and I'm really enjoying it. Okay, see this scarf that I'm wearing here? This is Rahab's scarf, and just give you a little preview. This is an older design. It's been on my channel for a while, for more than a year. Well, I had some leftover yarn that Hannah got me. And Hannah, this yarn is beautiful. I'm not going to go into the details of the brand and everything, because this yarn is no longer available on the market. And I'd never heard of such a thing before, but it's a really interesting blend of merino wool and other things, including milk protein. I don't understand how they do this, but all I know is it's very nice, very soft yarn. And when I looked it up online, it tended to be one of those pricier yarns. She got a whole box of this for $5 from a thrift store. And it's beautiful yarn, brand new, worsted weight, number 4 weight yarn. So this is made using a number 1 weight yarn. Okay, so I'm doing the same design, but I'm working it in a 4 weight yarn now. So I'm going to end up, this is going to be a really fun thing to wear. Um, some people may call it a super scarf, but once I finish, the total length of it, I'll be able to, wear this as a stole or as a wrap. Okay, I just wanted to show that to you because I know some of you, understandably, don't want to work with the smaller yarn, maybe because of arthritis or something with your fingers. You want to work larger. And what you can do, so this is what I'm saying, you can take these designs and you can just make it into a stole or a wrap instead with your larger yarn. And of course, you're going to upsize your hook to match your yarn as you do that. Excuse me. Also, I just wanted to let you know, in case you don't get the flyers like I do, I'm on the mailing list for Love Crafts. The paint box yarns, I believe, are at about 35% off right now. So if you're looking for yarn for projects into the new year, you might want to check out the sales that they're having now. They may have some after Christmas as well, but I think a lot of times I find that the best sales are before Christmas. Now, let me look and see what I have here. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans a little bit. I'm not gonna show you any pictures, but I am collaborating with Tiffany Hansen of Crochet with Tiffany Hansen. She's another YouTuber on YouTube. That was redundant. And we're collaborating on a project that you might want to join with us. This is going to be starting February 1st. It is a lapgan, and it's going to be one that's kind of a gender neutral. In other words, we tried to design this um, for with men, with our US veterans particularly in mind. There's nothing, extra military about it, but we wanted it to be on the matte side, and that's why we chose the colors that we did, and are the colors that were. And so what we're going to do is half of the instructions for this project we're going to be on my channel, and the other half of the instructions are going to be on Tiffany Hansen's channel. So, you can bounce back and forth, and it'll give you a feel, for what other people do. If you've not met her, she tends to do more basic things, but very very creative, very creative crochet, and it's very beginner friendly. So I think you're going to like that. A very very bright, cheerful young lady. So anyway, so if you want to hit some of those sales, I do have a link in the video description below for the Lovecraft store. They are based in the UK, but they do have a warehouse here in the US. But I'm going to overestimate a little bit what you're going to need. But you're going to need about six of these, or at least six of these each. Um, it may be more, maybe less of the different colors. It's probably not more. I think six will get you through the entire project, six of each. You might have a little bit of leftovers on some of the colors. I haven't measured it out exactly, but I just wanted to throw that out there to you. So, 18 balls of yarn, you'll be able to make this. Now, if you don't want to get the paint box yarn, don't worry about it. You can always use yarn from your stash, yarn that's more locally sourced, especially if you're following from over like in places where a paint box isn't available. That's never a problem. And yeah, this is 100% acrylic. If you've not been familiar with this, this is champagne white. This is color number 202. I don't know the name of this, but I'm calling this medium blue. This is color 8A74, if I'm reading that right. And then you have a darker blue. This is color SA. Is that a 5 or a 6? 6A. Okay. Or any three combination colors that you'd want to work. You're gonna need a few colors because there's gonna be some color play involved in this. I think that's gonna really, really make this thing pop. So if you got yarn in your stash that you want to combine, that works. That works too. And again, we're using a worsted weight, which is a number 4 weight yarn. If you don't want to use that, you can use a smaller yarn if you want to. Of course, you're going to get a smaller blanket. And this is a smaller blanket already. It's a lapgan. So you probably don't want to go too much smaller. I think it's a really good thing for people in a wheelchair, or if you're just sitting in a recliner and you just want to, just a little something over you to stay warm. So that is a little bit of preview of what we've got coming. All right, let me catch back up on some of the comments here. Excuse me again. Um, all right. Denise says, I'm having 2 Christmas dinners, one family Christmas Eve and one family Christmas Day. Whew, you're making me tired, Denise. Phil says, I'm headed to Marcy, New York and Raymond, New Hampshire for deliveries, dreading going through Western New York where they got all that snow a couple weeks back. Ooh, yeah. And I imagine they're going to have some up in New Hampshire too. I remember driving up there through the White Mountains, and it can get a little sticky. Um, Thank you, Hannah. And Archer and Ace, thank you so much. Thank you for your donation of $20. Let me go ahead and I'm going to write this down. Give me a second, because if I don't do this now, I will forget. So we'll start afresh. Uh, there we go. Because last week or so we sent in $100 to show hope. It was so great to be able to do that for the organization that helps couples with the fees for adoption. That's what we contributed to um, last week, 2 weeks ago. So thank you, Terry, for your kindness there. I hope you all are staying warm. Denise says still lots to do. Yeah, and wishing Phil safe travels. Absolutely. Oh, thank you for your comments, Margaret and Denise, and and Barbara. Thank you so much. I hope you all like this scarf. This was really fun, and what makes it fun for me too is the yarn was locally sourced. It's from a gal who's in my area. I mean, or at least within the region. So it was just really nice to be able to meet her in person, and just be able to pick out yarn from the yarn that she has hand dyed. All righty. Uh yeah, and Hannah's saying to Denise, hope you'll have time for rest and to recharge. Yes, absolutely. And Sarah says, hi, Miss Bonnie. This is Eliza from Georgia. So glad I caught you live today. Oh, how sweet. I'm so glad that you can do that. I remember you. Okay, yeah, yeah. The memory is coming back to me. How are you doing? I hope things are going well with your crafts and everything. It was so delightful to meet you and your mom. Please give your mom a hug for me, okay? Um, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious, that's so cool. I'm going to be going down there again. I don't know if we're going to have a lot of time, but it'll probably be in January to help with the move. Although actually, you know what? I might actually be in South Carolina, and Hannah may be the one helping with the move. We'll see. We'll see whose back is stronger that week. So glad you could catch the live. And Rita says, just getting in, but happy to see you all and have a great holiday. Loving that scarf. Thank you, Rita. And Barbara says, oh, I love that 4 weight. Isn't that fun? I'm just having so much fun with that. What's really cool about this is I'm kind of rethinking some of these. I love the thin scarves. The thin scarves are just perfect for me. And I just love the number 1 weight yarn because it's a way to get away with cabling, and you don't have a super duper chunky, thing. It's not like you're, this big poofy thing. It's a very manageable, feels like knit almost, kind of a scarf. People oftentimes think, oh, that's knit. And I'm like, no, it's not. But I'm looking at over here. where I have a lot of extra yarn that I've purchased over the years, yarn that's discontinued. I can't really design with it, but what I can do is I can redesign with it. I can kind of reinvent one of the other patterns using some of these other yarns, which is, I think, something I'm going to try to get into. And I just want you all to maybe be looking at your pattern collection in a different way and think, okay, well, maybe I can do this in this yarn or that yarn. I mean, you want to be careful about sweaters now. If it's a fitted item, you really do need to be careful because that can totally change everything. But then again, if you have a tight sweater and you want it to be a bulky sweater, you can do that. So, I don't want to give you too much license and then for you to expect the same results, that the recommended yarn would give, because that's not gonna happen. But if you're okay with experimenting to see what else we can get, um, with what you have available, give it a try. Okay, Hannah wants to know, could you repeat the pattern name of the scarf you're wearing and the one that I'm working on? Okay, yes. This is called Rahab's scarf, and I named it after Rahab in the Bible. If you're familiar with the story of Jericho, in the walls of Jericho, when the Israelites would march around and they fell and all that. Well, before that happened, they sent spies, a couple of people in to spy out the land to see, how things were. This is after the 40 years of wandering in the desert, and there was a woman there who also happened to be a prostitute. That's what the Bible says she was. We can get into a whole nother topic on that, but I'm not don't want to get into detail on that. Um, but she was redeemed. She became a believer. Became a follower of Yahweh, of the God of Israel, through this experience, which is what I am so just encouraged by. I mean, and anyway, so what she was to do to save her family was to put a red scarf out the window, or a scarlet scarf, and that was a way of marking where she was and where her family was, so that when the Israelites were to come in to Jericho, she would be safe. Her and her family would be safe, and they were safe and protected. So that's kind of very loosely, quickly, the meaning of the red scarf. But it's a wonderful story in the scriptures if you want to take a read. Um, it's in the book of Genesis. I don't know the exact reference. Was it Exodus? Maybe it's Exodus. Yeah, I think it's the book of Exodus. Uh, it's Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. It's in the Pentateuch. It's in the first 5 books. I'm drawing a blank right now exactly where the story is, but you can look it up. I mean, you've got Google search, you've got a concordance, you can look it up. But it's a wonderful story of how she really put her life at risk to save the Israelite spies, and then and as a result of that, she got her life back. Okay, thank you, Hannah. Joshua, the book of Joshua. Thank you, Bible expert Hannah. I appreciate that. I was thinking, no, it's not Exodus. Exodus is when they left Egypt. And anyway, slow brain fog. Joshua chapter 2. Okay. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Bible answer lady. I so appreciate that. I say that very cheerfully, Hannah. She knows her stuff. Um, yeah, so thank you guys for the interest in this. Thank you, Nancy. Um, yeah, Denise, in response to Hannah about busyness and all, she says, I'm off work for the rest of the week, so time to recuperate, but I love every minute with my family. Isn't that the truth? I think of what my mother-in-law says, I'm so glad to see everybody come. And then it's like, I'm so glad when they leave. I mean, in a good way, because it's just wonderful, but it's just like, psh, and then quiet. And quiet is welcome after so much interaction. And thank you, Nancy and Carla. She says, love this. I will try this after Christmas. Too many projects to finish up last minute. Yeah, I actually have a stack of things. I'm going to just show you real quick. Let me go ahead and do that. I've done this before. And again, this is in no way to produce guilt in anyone about doing Christmas presents. I have a confession to make. I generally don't give crochet anymore for Christmas gifts because everybody I know has gotten an Afghan, or they have something usually from me. So I think I'm only giving, I think, two this year, two crocheted gifts. Um and that's it. And I did not work hard in advance to make these up. These were already in my stash and ready to go. But if you're in the situation where you need one more thing that you can whip out in a day or two, I have some samples to show you. All of these are in the video listing. There's a link in the video for quick gifts. They're all, you can just scroll down and see the little thumbnails and see them. Um, these are all there. Here's a popcorn hat. This is an intermediate project. Really fun to make. Looks great in lighter colors. This is a quick and easy project. This is using fingering weight yarn, and this is a nice headband. Okay. Um, I'm getting another text from Hannah. Okay, no. Okay. Here is another. If you have some of that furry yarn, you can't even see the stitches, but you can feel them. This comes together like in an hour. Very, very quick. You can make, put buttons on it. You can wear it, as a warm cowl, or you can wear it as a as a as an ear warmer. Very, very warm to wear. Go ahead and put the buttons back. Um, Hold on, let me silence the dinger. There we go. Well, I'll just leave it on so I don't miss Hannah's uh, communications. Okay, here's another one. This looks like a big item, but it crochets up very quickly, 2-3 hours, and you can make this. This is a simple granny square shawl. This is one of the beginning projects, very quick and easy. This is a very beginner friendly hat. Again, all the videos are in that link, and the pattern information is in the video description. So if you're looking at the video, it'll say more. You click on more, and it'll open up a lot of information. So this is a easy breezy beanie. Here's another version of that granny square scarf. It's the same thing, except that I added tassels on. So it's fun to wear as a scarf or a shawl. And what's great about these is you can use any yarn. This is a DK weight. This is a thinner yarn than what I showed you before. The yarn that I just showed you down there is a number 5. It's a thicker yarn. So whatever yarn you have, and this is also great for scraps that you have. This was a self-striping cake of yarn, but if you just have a bunch of leftovers that the colors look good together, you can make a granny square shawl in no time. And these are really relaxing to make once you get started. We have a couple of different designs for soap sacks on our channel. And if you need more, you can also go to soapsacks.org, I believe is the link. Also, the link for these are in the soap sack, where you can go to another place and learn how to make a whole bunch of these. These are fun for camping, for homeless gifts, for military gifts. You can put a bar of soap in here, pull it shut. You can tie it up to dry out so it doesn't kind of sit in soap scum and get yucky. And then when you're done, when the soap is all gone, you throw it in the washer machine and then the dryer and do it all over again. These are also, like I've said it before, great for camping. You're out in the woods, and you know how things can be. Here is a very easy, this is two front posts, two back posts, headband. And whenever you do this, you get a lot of elasticity. Just make sure that the original chain that you crochet is on the loose side on that one, the headband. If you want to venture into knitting, I do have a beginner's knit dishcloth. 100% cotton, don't forget on those. We also have a beanie. I gave this a French name that I'm not going to dare repeat because I'll probably mess it up. But this is also a free pattern you can download courtesy of Cascade Yarns. And yes, this is a fall hat, but you can easily replace this with a different color, maybe make it a red color. And instead of doing this, you can continue with this, or you can just make it, you can put a big pom pom up there. But the braided hat, these are a lot of fun. If you're looking for a gift for a lady, these are made out of the Symphonia cotton yarn, which is the thinner yarn, very, very nice, 100% mercerized cotton um, spa cloths. And these appeared in Crochet Magazine several years ago. You can make pot holders, and this is a double thickness, okay, and two of them with knurl stitch together. You can use this as a pot holder or as a trivet. Okay, it's a little thick for a dishcloth. It's not a dishcloth. Here are some simple dishcloths. This is just single crochet, but with the color changing yarn, it makes it a lot of fun. This is the 100% cotton yarns. Excuse me. Here's some more that are on my channel. This would be the woven stitch. This can be used. This primarily for a dishcloth. You could use it as a trivet, but these are primarily for dishcloths for cleaning dishes and so forth. Here's one that's the granny square. You can learn that on the channel as well. And this has got to be one of my favorites. This is a round dishcloth. And what's nice about this is it's a pretty trivet. You can just put it, on the countertop. If you're like me, I don't have granite countertops. I still have Formica. I mean, just the old style Formica countertops. And you know what? They have fed our family quite well for more than 20 years as we've lived in this house. Still have not upgraded. And I'm okay with that. And that's not to shame anybody that has granite or anything like that. I know that's all that they use now. But in other words, the countertops that I have can be scorched if the pot is hot enough. Even if you have granite countertops, this can make it look kind of pretty. I mean, you obviously don't need to protect the countertop from the heat like I do. But also, let me show you what else you can do with this. You can fold it in half like this, okay? And I do this all the time and use it as a, something to grab something hot out of the oven. I wouldn't do that without folding it in half though, because I keep these in my drawer and then I pull things out of the oven quite often. And it also can be a washcloth or a dishcloth for cleaning those pots and pans. And yes, you can scrub really hard with these. You're not going to hurt the cotton. Now, if you do make any of these that I showed you for the kitchen, make sure it's 100% cotton. Do not make them out of acrylic, because if you do, the first time you use them, the heat is going to melt them and you might actually get burned. Okay, because when the material melts, it could hurt you. So just wanted to show you that. I know you've seen these all before. Do I have anything else? I think that's pretty much it. But there are actually other things in that list that I didn't show you. So anyway, I just again, not to shame anybody if you're not giving everybody something crochet, but I know in case you need that, that's why I wanted to show that to you. Again, I've done that in the past where I make everybody a dishcloth, my little church group and stuff, but I didn't do any of that this year. But what I did do for my neighbors this year, I did make them a little bit of peanut butter fudge. I sent out my newsletter this past week, finally, and I included the recipe for the peanut butter fudge. I also included something that I didn't even show you here. Is it over there? Well, anyway, I also included the cabled headband pattern, which is really quick and easy to do with the bulky yarn. It is an intermediate pattern though. But anyway, in the newsletter, I did include that as a gift to my newsletter recipients. If you're not on our newsletter, it's free. You can look in the video description below, or you can go to, let me go ahead and type this into the chat, bonniebay.com. Uh, yeah, bonniebay.com. And you can just sign up for it if you'd like. I send it out maybe once or twice a month. I'm not a spam bot, like I tell people. I don't have the energy for doing that, and I also just don't want you to just get into the habit of clearing things out when I send them to you. I want it to be like a special something that comes that you look forward to, not something that I have to clear that out again. Um, Plus, I'm just not a marketer. I'm a crocheter. I'm a designer, and that's my main thing. All the other stuff I'm trying to get better at, but at last. Um, and okay, Deborah says about the using the larger worsted weight yarn. I really appreciate the larger worsted yarn as I suffer from essential tremors in both hands. Oh wow, that's got to be hard, Deborah. Yeah, well, always feel free to to give it a try. Switch it up if you need to, especially if it's a shawl or a scarf. You can always change up the yarn. Um, and Hannah, let's see. Yeah, Hannah's talking about needing space sometimes and to recharge. Absolutely. And again, thank you, Terry Archernace, for your kind comment. She says, I'm trying to do every pattern in Celtic cable crochet. Just renewed my membership. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Thank you so much for that. And just to let you all know, if you're looking for a Christmas gift that people are asking you, what can I get you? Maybe you suggest, hey, get me a year to the Watch channel, which is watch.bonniebaycrochet.com. Again, link in the video description. It's $79.50 a year or $7.95 a month. So if you do the math real quick, it's cheaper to buy, a year than it is month to month. But if you just want to try it out just month to month, you can go do it for 1 month. And if it's not for you, you can easily get off. Just go into your account and just say bye. It's really as easy as that. Why would you spend money on that instead of just watching everything for free? Well, because there are lots of things on that channel that don't appear onto my public channel. Plus, there are many PDFs that I normally sell in my Etsy stores and in my Lovecraft online pattern store that are complimentary to my watch subscribers. So, and we are going to again try to resume doing a monthly Zoom class of some sort. Of course, December, we're just going to have the holiday hangout this month. I know a lot of y'all are super busy, and I am too. And I think everybody understands that. But we'll have something, either a social meetup um, or a live class that will be taught online. Um, as much as I can, doing that each month. And I'm going to try to get some more guest teachers like I did last time. I know this past year we've had Jennifer Ryan, we've had Brenda Berg, um, and I'm going to just try to look into maybe more classes from them and see if other people want to teach a class on for you guys on the Watch channel. I may even reach out to a couple others. So that's just something that if you were normally going to a conference would be anywhere from I am not trying to exaggerate, but depending on the conference, anywhere from $50 to $125. No joke. Plus the hotel and everything else. So this is just a way to connect with people, and I just a way for me to try to bring a value to you. Also, our subscribers get a 20% discount on my books across the board if they're ever buying them from my Etsy store. Let me say one more thing about that. I know it's getting late with getting things in time for Christmas. I can't make guarantees on that. But my books will only be available for really until, let's say, tonight, maybe through Saturday. Okay. After Saturday, I'm taking them out of the Etsy store for the next 6 weeks or so because I'm going to be traveling for Christmas. And then I'm also going to be relocating just for a month for serving a family member, and I'm just not able to carry all the books and everything. I'm already carrying my camera and a lot of the other supplies for my work, but I just can't manage to do all the books and everything. So, if you're looking for a book, I'll show you some. I've got many different books available, different price points. Most of these ship for free. So when you see the price on my Etsy store, it's including shipping. Okay. Generally, I mean, look, just to double check, but these are some of the books, and I do sign everything before it leaves. And if you want it to be signed in a special way, for a gift to someone special, all you need to do is tell me that in the notes section. Tell me whom to sign it to, and I'll be happy to do that. All right. um all right. Hannah's funny. A YouTube on YouTube. Yep, I know, I'm repeating myself. And Barbara says, I'm crocheting Christmas baskets called Christmas Crunch, worked in brown, and they look like pine cones. That sounds really cool. Please send me a picture of that, Barbara. I'd love to post a picture of that if you can. Um, oh, thank you, Rita. We have another donation, 19.99. I'm just going to round that up to 20 on my list here. Thank you so much, Rita. Let me go ahead and add that to my little note here. Where did it go? Mm, Okay. So that brings us a little bit closer to a future song or music of some sort. Because once we get to $100 on a donation, then we will donate that to one of our charities. The next charity will probably be Rancho 3M, and then after that, we'll probably do Shriners. So, yeah, thank you so much for your kindness, Rita. I so appreciate that. Um, oh, thanks again, Donna, for the reminder about hitting the thumbs up. I just lost a bunch of. I'm backing up here. A lot of people I missed out on here. And yeah, Phil talking about Tiffany says she has an upbeat personality, fun to watch and learn from. Yeah, she's a very delightful young lady. Um, Wish I could get some of that energy back, but alas. Um, and Sandra, good morning to you. She says, morning, Bonnie and everyone from a lovely 71 degrees here in Southern California. Enjoy that, Sandra. That sounds delightful. Excuse me. And we have Dorothy Perry. Good morning or good afternoon to you and happy holidays. And Donna says, sorry, I missed it. Can you say the name of the pattern scarf you're wearing? Oh yeah, okay. I think I've Hannah sent me that question, but again, this is Rahab's scarf. And the one that's coming, I'll just do this again. The one that's coming in sometime January, February, or March, sometime. I don't want to promise it too soon because I've got other projects that are coming. I need to be careful. This is the Sunshine Saxon cable scarf. I want to roll them out so that you can still wear them when the weather is cold. I may try to bring this out in January as well. It's going to be a busy January. I hope you have lots of yarn ready to go because I've got a throw coming. It's called my Wild Irish Throw, and a scarf or two as well. So get your hooks ready and ready to go. Um, and Sarah says, ha, you just reminded me of the song. No, it's not knit. Everyone always assumes that it's knit. Yeah. I should sing that for you all. I don't have a guitar tune right here, or I would. Um, I don't think you want to hear the tuning part of it. But anyway, yeah, no, it's not knit, sung to the tune of Feliz Navidad, one of my favorites. Um, yeah. And yeah, Hannah says, yeah, when people think of stuff with yarn, they automatically think of knit. Oh well, that's okay. That's okay. Because if you're speaking Russian, there's only one word for both the knit and crochet, and it's translated knit with a needle or knit with a hook. So, yeah, language is a funny thing. Oh, thank you, Denise. And Kathy says, I made your tandem cable scarves using Care on Simply Soft yarn. It's beautiful. That's a good idea. I should go back and revisit that one as well. That would be a good one to use larger yarn with, actually. Thanks for that idea, Kathy. Sometimes I think I always have to reinvent the wheel, but I really don't. Just go back and revisit something that we've already done, but just change it up a little bit. Um, oh, thank you, Donna. She says, thank you for the name and story. It says of the Rahab scarf. Reminds me of the marking of doorways for the Exodus. Yeah, yes, it does. And I love both of those stories because it really is, it ties into Christmas because it's all about redemption. It's about, the covering of one's sins. And um as I believe the Bible teaches and the Lord teaches, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. If we're honest, we'll know that that's true. I've met some people who said, "No, I'm a good person. I've never done anything wrong." Well, it's like I can't say that. If I did, I would be lying big time. But anyway, just the idea, the markings on the lintel and the doorpost in the story of Exodus, yes, as well as um, with Rahab. And I think it's kind of cool that both are with the color of blood. I mean, the one in Exodus was marked with lamb's blood, which is um, a look ahead towards, the pictorial, just thinking, of Jesus dying on a cross and um, which took blood to cover a multitude of sins. But anyway, I'm getting off track here, but it is related though. It's so relatable and it's just wonderful just how it all ties in. And that's what we're celebrating with the coming of Jesus, who, the big fancy word we use for this is incarnation. God becomes flesh in the form of a baby, and main purpose was to, again, to be the sacrifice that Exodus looks towards with the baby. I mean, with the sacrificial lamb that was used for Passover. And of course, Jesus is called the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world in the scriptures. And it's such a beautiful, 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 amazing story that God would do that for us. But yeah, and then I think that's why when I saw the color red of this yarn, and I thought of Rahab. And I just love her story too because she's anything but a perfect person, um, but yet she was redeemed. And anyway, there's hope. It's just hope for all of us, and I just love, love how it all ties together. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing that God has done. It's a great time of year, and just love, 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 love celebrating this. Anyway, let me look at my sheet here. Did I cover everything I wanted to talk about? Because I did that. Oh, okay. There's one more thing I haven't talked to you about. Um, I don't know if you could see behind me, but in case you missed it, the popcorn sleeves video is up. And thank you for giving me feedback. Some of you did about in the video comments on that, and you said yes, you did want some more of those. I think it was in last week's live. Thank you for commenting. I am exploring this. I'm exploring it slowly, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Okay, I haven't fixed this yet, but let me show you. I have another jacket. This is one that it's a heavier jeans jacket. This is a one that I am not going to cut the sleeves off. This is one that is one of those expensive ones that I love. And so look what I made. A simple granny square. And my thoughts, and it's just the right size to fit onto the back of this jacket. So what do you think about that? And what's really nice about this is one of my more favorite jackets. And the yarn is yarn that I bought when I was in Bologna, Italy. So it has a special memory for me of being on a very once in a lifetime trip with my husband. And so I'm thinking, yeah, again, I'm thinking this through, but I'm thinking maybe put this on the back and perhaps maybe just a hint of it on the front, just a small hint of some of these colors on the front. And I'm working on this. I'm still thinking it through, but and I'm slow because I don't want to just do it and then not be happy with it. So these are just some of the thoughts I'm doing. I mean, simple crochet. Um, I've got another piece with some cables that I'm thinking of, and I'm thinking of maybe doing some cabled sleeves on some others. So, I'm thinking hard and long. So just stay tuned with me this next coming year. You never know what could happen. Um, so anyway, let me finish getting back to your comments again. Uh, and Jesus Joy 7 says, yeah, I pray everyone's doing well. Thank you so much. Oh, Lynn, thank you, my dear. My goodness. You guys are so generous. Let me go ahead and add that to our where did it go? Thank you so much, Lynn. So that brings us up to 60. So all right. Thank you so much, Lynn, for your generosity. I know it's a sacrifice for many of you. Thank you. Um, all right. And Barbara says, our family got so big we could not meet in my parents' home for Christmas. It was hard on my mom. She wanted everyone in one place. Yeah, yeah, our family's gonna be mostly there, but with children who are married, they have two sets of like the babies now have two sets of grandparents, which is a gift because um I never had that because by the time I was born, my grandmother on my mom's side had passed away. And when I was 2, my grandfather on my dad's side passed away. So, I mean, I never really had that problem that my kids have, which is a really great problem if you think about it. Just so many families in different locations. So we're content to just, to share. And in fact, we will probably not open gifts until around the 28th, 27th or 28th of December. Um, just once everybody, as many people can come and be together. But again, we celebrate all month long with our friends and family and church family and so forth. Um, yeah. And thank you, Virginia. She says, "Good morning, blessings, Bonnie and Hannah. Nice and warm here in California. Enjoy it, Virginia. You know that could change. Enjoy that beautiful weather. I know it's really wonderful there." And again, thank you, Lynn. And Jesus Joy 7 says, Bonnie, your projects are beautiful. On my way for an ultrasound. Have a wonderful weekend. Blessings to all. I hope you do well. I hope that you get a good diagnosis or prognosis, whatever that is. Jesus Joy 7. Um, yeah, thank you, Hannah, for encouraging her as well. And Phil says, I'm a bit leery to use mercerized cotton for dishcloths or hot pads. It just feels like it's not as absorbent or safe enough for heat, but I may be wrong on that though. Yeah, Phil, you may need to just do a case by case. I understand what you're saying there because a lot of the mercerized cotton would be like the thread cotton that people use the really tiny crochet hooks on. I think you just have to take it case by case, and just to see what you find at the store and just see what your fingers tell you. But yeah, that is a good point. And that's another thing. If you have something with a lot of polyester, if it's like 50-50, that polyester I don't think is going to absorb very well either. So that is a good point. Um, yeah, but the thing is about the cotton, the that I used for these other dishcloths. Let me go back. Where are they? Yeah, for these. Um, I think this will work. I mean, it just depends. It's the Symphonia cotton. They're It's made in Mexico, I believe, but it's a really nice cotton. It's a little gentler to your skin than, let's say, than the cotton, like the peaches and cream cotton. Peaches and cream cotton, that can scrub a dub anything. Um, I don't know that I would use it against my skin because it might be a little too rough. But that's a good point you have there. And Dorothy wants to know, do you have the beginning knitting left-handed? Yes, ma'am. Everything I do a right, and then I create a flipped image. I do not do anything with my left hand that a normal righty can do. I'm a right-handed, but I do a flipped image, and that image is up on everything I've done, especially with the beginning knitting. Yes, I believe it is. Yeah. And Barbara says, my auntie sent peanut butter fudge every Christmas, most of my adult life. How I miss her. Well, Barbara, if you want the recipe, it's on my channel. Just look up peanut butter fudge on my homepage. And if you look in the video description, you can just copy it out of there. The recipe is right there in the video description. So it's printed out in the newsletter as well this month, just to bring awareness to it. But it's been on my channel all year. um, Thanks again for the thumbs up reminder, Donna. Um, and again, Rita, thank you for your generous donation. And Joni says, I just have given my neighbor a cross stitch crucifix that says, God bless. She has just buried her husband. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about that today, but this is actually the 6th anniversary of my mom passing away. So I'd much rather be sitting here talking with you all and focus on life and blessing and looking forward to the day when I can be reunited with mom again, and we'll both be better people because we'll be without sin and we'll be enjoying the Lord's presence. Anyway, again, not because of anything we ever did, but because of Christmas, because of the incarnation, because of Jesus coming and dying on that horrible cross to cover everything I've ever done. Um, that's a good question, Hannah. Someone's asking, where can people donate if they wanted to, but can't directly send you the money? Um, it says, do you have any links in your video description? Um, I don't have them. Maybe not have them in the video description right now, but I can tell you where to look. The 3 places that, or actually 4 places we like to donate to here and there. And I encourage you to donate if you feel like being a cheerful giver. Never do this under compulsion. Okay. This idea God loves a cheerful giver. I believe that wholeheartedly. Um, if you're looking for places, you can just look these up on Google. SamaritansPurse.org is a great place. They do a lot of relief, both domestic and international, and we've given to them a number of times. Rancho 3M, that's a 3 and M as in Mike. Rancho 3M is a children's orphanage in Juarez, Mexico. It's an orphanage and a Christian school. I've been there. I have seen the work there. It's in a desperate location, and your money is not wasted there. I know the people running the place. Have known about this place for probably going on 30 years. It's a very excellent work. Um, okay. Shriners Hospital for Children is another excellent organization. And then the other one is Show Hope, SHOWHOPE.org. And that's the organization run by Stephen Curtis Chapman and his wife, to help people with financing adoptions. So very, very wonderful organization. And of course, there are many others, many, many, many others. People often ask me, to give to this, that, and the other thing. And I kind of have mine parceled out, and confirmed and verified. But if you know of, local causes, I just encourage you to, donate there as well. And yes, you can donate to any of those directly. I'll need to add those. I'll try to add those to my video description, but it's not going to be till after I'm done with the live. But I will add them. Okay, I will add them at the end. and we're getting close to that. Oh, thank you, Linda. She says, I love the wash channels so much. Good, clean, fun. Thanks, Linda. And I'm going to try to add more and more in the coming weeks. And just to let you know, there are actually Zoom recordings of many of the classes that we've taught this past year as well. So there is a ton of stuff there to take in. But Joni, that was an excellent, beautiful gift to give to your neighbor there. That's beautiful. Um, and thank you, Hannah, again for your just encouragement. And we have, is it Pit Purrit? Is that, am I saying that right? Says, oh, I made a live finally. Hi from Scotland. Wow. Wow. Welcome. Welcome. That's my sister's favorite country to visit is Scotland. Uh, well, hold on a second. I'm trying to catch. Oh, Lynn, thank you again for your kind comments. Uh, and I hope I said that right. Is it Pipperit or is it Pie Parrot? Ah, I'm sorry. Y'all make up these wonderful names, and I probably really mess them up most of the time, but oh well. Um, and Joni says about the gift she gave, says she is such a great neighbor. Um, he was a great guy, lived to be 95. Wow, that was a special gift. Um, and thank you, Carol, again for your question about the donation. And Denise says, my wild Irish throw. I can't wait to see it. Yes, and it's an intermediate level project. I promise you, it's got some interesting things in it. So great to have you, Deborah. She said she needs to leave. I need to leave too, but I just want to finish up. Brat's mom says, I know a missionary who is stationed in Singapore. He says the weather is boring, always hot and humidity, like 80 to 100 degrees every day, evening, about 12 hours each. Yeah, well, they're right there on the equator. My husband's been there many years ago, back in 2002 or 2001. Um, but yeah, he visited Singapore as part of a study tour with the seminary, and yeah, it was as you described it, Linda. Um, but yeah, not much change there at the equator. And again, thanks again, Lynn, for your kindness, for your kind donation. And Virginia says, love that on the jacket. Thank you for the feedback on that, Virginia. Anna says, I think it would become a memory jacket for you. I like it. Yeah, I think it will. I think I will do that. And granny squares are in. I mean, I started out with granny squares in the early 70s, but or was it the late 60s? But you know, they're in. Yeah, it would have been like around 1970 that I started crocheting. So, and Barbara says yes to the jacket. Okay, I may have to do that. Um, just to let you know, I am researching the best way to attach these things because I'm just not convinced of fabric glue. Um, I don't know. I guess I'm a skeptic. So I'm kind of more of the the stud finder a fixer thing. They used to call them bedazzler, but there is something called a stud setter. I think I need to look into to really make sure that I do this and I do it right and it looks good and it stays. So if anybody's got expertise in that, please contact me, bonniebay@me.com. I'm all ears. I know some of the options, I've been researching them. It's just a matter of investing in tools to make this happen. Um, okay, Hannah says, if someone wants to just donate to you and your work, how would they be able to do that? That's a good question. Um, I think that's what the super chat is originally set up for, but I kind of converted it to, um, to a donation thing um, for charities. Um, I don't know. I know that I don't know. I don't know. I know that there are thank you things that you can do and add to regular videos if you wanted to try that, but please don't feel any pressure to do that. Just having you as part of my audience is wonderful. Okay, thank you. Okay, the watch channel. Now that one might be something that might be good. Yeah, the watch channel might be a good way because that way you're getting something back as well. You're getting I'm hoping that, a lot of value out of that. That might be the best, yeah. Um, and love to craft. So glad to have you here. I'm getting ready to sign off, but let me just quick say hello, and to Nessa, good to have you. Um, and let's see. Love the craft says, have my daughter and grandbabies over. Well, you have picked the better of the choices. Love to craft. Stay time. You can come back to this later. Enjoy those grandbabies and hold them tight while you still can before they're looking down on you because they're going to grow up and go away so fast. You know how that goes. Oh my goodness. And Sandra says, thank you, Bonnie, for praying for my daughter. She is doing better. Slow go, but God is good and listens to our prayers. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much. Um, let's see. Oh, Joni, no offense whatsoever. No, 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 no. I don't know what that was about. Um, I don't remember what that was about. No, no offense. No offense has taken place here, my friend. Not at all. Um, we're just chatty. Um, why is this doing that? Okay. And Sandra says, Merry Christmas to those that celebrate. Absolutely. Safe travels to all. Absolutely. Yeah, I would say happy Hanukkah, but Hanukkah doesn't start until late this year. It's not till the end of the year that that even begins. Um, so we have, is it Elfrida? Says, hi, my English is not good. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, thank you for your kind comment. Well, let me tell you, Elfrida, my German is horrible, almost non-existent. Your English is excellent. I wish my German was even a tiny bit as good um, as your English. I think I can say Dankeschön, and that's about it. Um, uh, and there's a few other words that I've learned from my kids who've studied, but yeah, thank you so much for being here. Um, and Carol says, I love Samaritan's Purse. Um, Yes, yes, they are good. Yeah, yeah, Carol, I think what Hannah suggested, maybe the watch channel. I mean, that would be a good thing that because that really does help. Most of that goes to us. Some of it is, expense, for the service that we're providing. But that does help our household. So thank you. Well, Denise says, just a side thought, Dick Van Dyke just turned 99 and looks great. It's all about the genes, I think. Yeah, Hannah loves that too. We love watching, what is it? Mary Poppins, I think is one of my favorite that he's in. Um, and Denise says, I have all those tools. I use them quite a lot when my kids were younger. I used to sew a lot. Okay, getting back to the things for the bedazzler or whatever. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Joe Roxana. Um, all right. And Denise says her grandson came home yesterday from St. Francis Xavier University in Nova Scotia for Christmas. Wow. And We 3B says Hanukkah starts on Christmas Day. Yep. Yep. I just noticed it was late, later in the year or in the calendar. Um, oh, great. Oh, that's right. Hannah's saying one of your nephews is coming tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, that's my grandson. So he's going to be coming to South Carolina. So yay. Well, before we close out, I wanted to read. Went over. I didn't expect to go over this far, so sorry about that, guys. But it's fun hanging out with you all. Again, as far as next Friday, I don't know what next Friday looks like. I might end up just going out with my family. So be prepared for just getting a canceled note, but there's a chance that I might say, hey, I'm going to come. But I think you know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make a decision now. Instead of being wishy-washy like I have been, I'm gonna just say we're gonna cancel next Friday. Okay. So we're just going to I'll just see you in the new year. So that'll be nice. That'll be weird. Yeah, so this will be the last I'll just make this the last broadcast of 2024, but I wanted to end on a high note. And I loved, love, love reading these words. These were written by somebody named Philip Brooks back in 1858. And I want to read you the words to a Christmas hymn that you've probably heard many times, but somehow when you take it away from the music and you actually read the words, you get away from the familiar, you see it differently, and that's what happens to me. So I'm going to try to read this without crying. It's "O Little Town of Bethlehem," and it's based on a verse in Micah 5:2, which says, "Bethlehem Ephratah, though you are small, out of you will come for me one who will be ruler over Israel, whose origins are from of old, from ancient times." And of course, that's the prophecy Micah in the Old Testament speaking of the birth of Christ, and he fulfills many of those Old Testament prophecies. Well, all of the ones anyway that he was supposed to. Okay, so here we go. O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark streets shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. For Christ is born of Mary and gathered all above. While mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch of wondering love. O morning stars, together proclaim the holy birth, and praises sing to God the King, and peace to men on earth. How silently the wondrous gift is given. Whew, and it is such a wonderful gift. So God imparts to human hearts the blessings of his heaven. No ear may hear his coming, but in this world of sin, where meek souls will receive him still, the dear Christ enters in. O holy child of Bethlehem, descend to us, we pray. Cast out our sin and enter in, be born in us today. We hear the Christmas angels, the great glad tidings tell. O come to us, abide with us, our Lord, Emmanuel. Just love, love, love these hymns. Well, I want to wish you all a wonderful Christmas for those who celebrate, a wonderful start of Hanukkah coming. Also, a happy new year. And I will see you in 2025 by the grace of God. God bless. Bye bye.